people, and welcome to the Master of Unlocking podcast. It's Scary Day. I mean, we've torn down walls.
You know your favorite
Scary Day.
Your favorite holiday, Scary Day. Yeah. Scary Day.
Yeah.
Scary Day. We've taken down the walls. Everything's a nightmare around here.
Yeah, it's like
There's
a
a
condemned house.
There's a
down
creepy
here.
cat peering from above onto us at this
Oh.
point.
Who keeps inching closer to me, by the way.
I know, right?
Yeah, that's not nice.
So yes, the Master of Unlocking Studios is going through a renovation right now, but we should be back up and going in about 2 or 3 weeks. Is my guess. We'll be back to full. We'll have a new background. It'll be fine.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yes, you have a question, sir?
No, it's going to be fine. I'm just saying
okay.
it's going to be fine.
I have no idea. And
Do you guys...
What's going on up there?
Jeez. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. It is actually Scary Day now.
Oh no.
Oh, mother of God. The cat
just watch
is
the
gonna
cat. Oh God.
dominate someone's head.
Do we need to get rid of the cat?
No, he's
Someone-
fine. He's just curious. That's what he does.
Okay.
Someone call an exorcist.
I don't like this.
I don't either.
I don't like
I'm
this.
very nervous.
Well, it's to ease our nerves. Let's talk about Subway.
Okay, the cat's got to go.
The cat's got to go.
Says the cat's gotta
Caleb's
go.
done.
Caleb
the
is
cat's
gonna-
got to go.
I'm going to finish the cat.
It's like, what are we doing?
Goodbye, cat.
Goodbye, cat.
Good night, cat.
He's got. Cat's gone bye bye.
Good night, cat. Good night, hat. Good night,
So-
cat, jumping over the hat.
My daughter's up there. She'll take care of him. He'll be fine. And so anyway,
Did you eat fresh?
I did eat fresh.
You ate fresh.
I'll wait till Caleb gets back, but yeah,
You had a cookie. Let's talk cookie.
Oh,
What kind of cookie?
chocolate chip. I mean, and I will give the bag credit for I sent you.
Pretty good.
Looky, I got a cookie.
Pretty good marketing.
That's good.
Yeah.
I was excited about my cookie.
Yeah.
Thank you, Caleb, for getting rid of your feline friend.
Oh, that was
Even though it's
more for me than
my
anyone else.
feline friend. I didn't expect him to go nuts up there. I don't know what he was doing, what he got into. He saw he was on camera.
Every time
the
I saw
record-
him move, I just thought he was going to pounce on me, and I was like, I can't do this for an hour.
he
Like,
saw
I
the
can't-
he saw the record light go on, and he had to put on a show. That's what he does.
did. He did put on a show.
So we were talking about eating fresh at Subway from
You
their
eat fresh?
new
Oh,
Eat
yeah.
Fresh menu.
Yeah.
What was actually new on the menu? Because I walked in and asked the lady, "What's new on the Eat Fresh menu?" And she looked at me like I was insane.
yeah, I wouldn't expect. I went to the site.
Yeah.
And did
okay.
an order, so I knew exactly what was.
I don't
new.
understand why you walk into a restaurant anymore. Like you
It
go
was
to
kind of a
counter?
last minute decision. That's why.
Oh, okay.
Otherwise, I did not
Actually
plan.
interact
What are
with
you
the
in
person?
1994?
I tried to, she's a sandwich artist. I don't.
Oh, yeah. See, Subway's gone through many an iteration.
So if you would have used the app, you would have noticed there were like 6 or 7 of them labeled new.
Okay.
They had Steph Curry's picture next to them and Tom Brady's picture. No, I'm lying.
Well, like I walk in and I'm like looking around like for, advertisements and stuff for something new. I'm pretty sure I only found one new thing on there, and that's what I had.
So what'd you get?
I got the California something. I don't even know what it was.
There
now.
were 2 Cali Freshes.
Cali Fresh things.
There was a roast beef Cali Fresh, I think, and then there's a turkey Cali
I got
Fresh.
the turkey Cali Fresh. 'cause
As
that-
did I. What did you go with?
I got I have to look up. Sorry, I forgot already. I just looked it up.
the
and I
Tom
already
Brady special.
forgot.
which is
I got
nothing from Subway.
You don't even
The All American
TB12.
Club is what I got.
The All American Club. What was on the All American Club?
It's basically a club sandwich.
Okay, like
A
turkey,
couple kinds of
ham.
meat,
It doesn't
yeah.
say what kind of meat's on it.
For ham and bacon, right?
Turkey and bacon, I think, is what was on it. I almost got that one, but I did the turkey because I saw that the turkey Cali came with avocado.
That's
was
why I
like,
did it too. Which I mean,
Bring it
it's an
home.
avocado spread, so the chances of it likely being an actual avocado are pretty slim.
Knowing why Subway even did what they did to their menu.
I mean,
You know.
well, so when I went in there too, there was a QR code on the front of the thing, and it said "Our tuna is real" with a QR code below it.
They've been through some things. When I looked up the menu, I actually looked up new Subway sandwiches before I actually went to the
Mhm.
site like you did or the app or whatever and saw that that's how I could differentiate old and new. There was like a big article on, I don't know, Thrillist or something. I don't know. It was on one of those major sites, and it was like, this is the 9 sins of Subway that led to them redoing their menu. And none of it was as bad as Jared. obviously.
Well,
How can you get much worse than Jared?
Right.
They also didn't know what
They were serving human flesh.
Yeah, well, they chopped up Jared, and now they're serving him, so that's better, right? With a dash of Sandusky on it, and it'll be fine. The
Dash of
like the
Sandusky.
tuna thing, like
Mhm.
their tuna was discovered to be like
Mm-mm.
0.56% actual
Tuna, yeah.
and a bunch of other stuff that they were doing that was like shady and not feeding people real food. Not like all of the restaurants we talk about on here anyway do that.
Oh, I
but-
know, right? There was always the newspaper and the Taco Bell meat.
Right. I didn't know. Like, I didn't know that that's what made them rebrand. But Subway, man, they're persevering. Like, they've been through some rough patches, and you know what? I rarely see a Subway close. Like, they're still like they're kind of like Starbucks. Like, there's one everywhere.
I think Subway took over McDonald's, didn't it?
Yeah, as the most
restaurants in
Really?
America, or in worldwide, maybe. I don't remember what.
I
That
can't
makes a
remember,
lot
yeah.
of sense because, like, the restaurant that won't kill you, you know what I mean? Immediately, anyway.
Yeah, they did a good job of marketing that they're healthy, even though they're really not.
The calorie count's pretty, especially the bread.
Yeah.
Like,
Mhm.
you eat a foot long, it's like, well, there's your carbs for a week.
Yeah.
Like, so anyway, what everybody think?
The All American Club has turkey, ham, and bacon.
Okay. So we basically just we swapped our ham for avocado. I do what kind of bread? I had wheat bread. Is what I had it on.
I did too. We had basically the same sandwich,
Yeah.
maybe a few separate veggies, but
Yeah, I did spinach, black olives,
no black olives because I'm not disgusting.
tomato.
Tomato, spinach. I did spinach. Did you
And-
cucumber?
No, I
Yeah, the cucumber.
Yeah, so I did
Pickle?
Pickle, yeah.
Yeah, I did pickle. Mayo?
Mayo, yeah.
Mayo, yeah. Any
Mm.
mustard?
I didn't do mustard.
I
this
didn't do
time.
mustard.
They don't have light mayo anymore, which was weird to me.
Yeah, I did see that their mayo was. They just said, we're doing full fat now.
Yeah, they're just all in on.
I don't know. I mean, maybe it's smart. I don't
Maybe
know.
I'm
People
the only
don't like
person that ever ordered it.
people don't like half chemical anything anymore. People would rather have all the fat. So I
Yeah.
don't know. Maybe that's why. I don't know.
I don't know either. I will say the bread. I didn't get mine toasted. I never get mine toasted there
mine-
because they
didn't toast mine
always
either.
over toast it.
I did nuke the bacon on mine.
They did. Yeah, I did nuke the bacon, but
We had basically the same.
yeah. The bread seemed crispier than usual. I will say, like not quite full Panera hard as a rock.
Yeah, not like crouton like Panera.
Yeah, but it was not as soft as usual. Mine wasn't. I would say, but at the same time, that sandwich still sucked.
I gotta tell you, mine was bad.
I
Maybe
don't mind Subway.
my avocado. Like I don't either. I don't hate
Oh, okay.
Subway.
Just this one in particular.
Yeah, this sandwich. In fact, I'm fine with Subway. I think the avocado spread was really disappointing for me.
Yeah,
Like I would have much rather just gotten a avocado and smashed it on a sandwich, and I feel like it would have tasted better. So
Maybe that
said
was it.
avocado
Yeah.
contents, or if that's actually like part avocado, part something else, like food paste or something. The avocado spread for me was gross, which you didn't have.
Right.
Mm.
I give this thing probably a 2. I did not
I
enjoy
didn't
it.
hate it that much. I would
didn't
say
enjoy
mine
it.
was very much like a. I mean, I'm not going much higher. I'm going like a 4.
It was expensive too. I think my foot long was like $8 or
Yeah.
something.
Oh, the footlong was 10.
No, sorry, I meant my 6-inch.
Yeah, so I went. A footlong was $7. Sorry, a 6-inch was $7, and a
Yeah.
footlong was $9.99. So I was like,
got a foot long.
I just got the footlong, but I still have 6 inches of it in the fridge. That's what she said.
She's only saying stuff. So what do you think about yours? I think I would have liked yours better, to be honest.
5,
Yeah.
maybe a 6. If I'm
It
feeling
had,
generous.
it had bacon and like good
Yeah.
meat, so I probably would have enjoyed
So at this
his
point,
better.
yeah, like Subway is still serviceable as food.
And I
maybe.
didn't feel terrible eating it because I got a ton of vegetables on it. So
Okay.
Yeah. But like if I'm gonna go, I'm gonna go to a Jersey Mike's. I'm going to Jimmy John's. I'm doing.
Yeah.
yeah.
If I'm getting a sandwich from somewhere, it's
I'm
not
with
gonna
that.
be Subway anymore.
I'm with that. I have a suggestion for next week.
Okay.
What about the beefy or it's something? It's the beef and blue from Jimmy John's.
Oh,
Blue cheese fans?
I did see that.
I did. Yeah.
I don't know if I'm a blue cheese fan or
Let's
not.
find out.
Logan, what do you think?
I'm It's not that I don't like blue cheese. If someone's saying, "Would you like ranch or blue cheese?" I'm going. I'm gonna have ranch.
Yeah,
I've heard him say
yeah.
that before, and so that's why I wasn't sure if he would
Right.
be in.
I'm
Mhm.
the same way, but I don't know if I would really I don't know if I dislike
Are these like
it.
blue cheese crumbles or is it blue
I
cheese
think it's
sauce?
I think it's crumbles. I think it's legit blue cheese. Here we go. Here you go.
Yeah, we could try it. I'm down.
Is it
I think
like a
it
roast
actually
beef
is
and blue?
Yeah, it's a beef and blue. It's black and blue is what they're calling it. Beefy black and blue.
Plus, Jimmy John's is like the easiest thing ever to get. So
Yeah, I'm always good with getting a Jimmy John's
It looks
sandwich.
like there's like a sauce and crumbles.
I like the Jimmy John's is getting weird again.
yeah.
Like, make Jimmy John's weird again. Like,
Yeah.
they need to bring back the weird cups too. Like
Yeah.
every once in a while, where they get the
The
souvenir
plastic
cups.
cups.
Yeah, mine are
All right.
getting all faded.
Let's do it.
All right, the beefy blue. All right, we'll do
shall
that
review.
for whenever we shall return for this podcast that we do, where we talk about video games. Sometimes, a lot of the time. But what everybody?
It's too bad there aren't any video games.
It's too bad there aren't any. Yeah, it's a shame. All right, well, that's been Master of Unlocking podcast for this week. We talk about food and sometimes video games, and this time
The
we're
fall came and now it's over. Came and went.
Yep. So, all right. Anybody play anything? Or well, let's maybe recap. So, any games anybody finished up?
I finished Deathloop.
Okay. Now we can. I was kind of figured we would maybe talk about that. How overall thoughts on the ending and how it kind of the whole game wrapped up and stuff.
I didn't realize, because I was generally confused, I didn't realize how much into the arcane lore the Deathloop goes.
Does it?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
It
okay.
takes place after the Dishonored DLC, the death
I
of
did not
what's
know
his
this.
face or whatever.
Yeah,
So
I had no idea.
it's in the arcane universe. There are a bunch of references to it. And anyway, I'm not sure if the ending I got was good or bad. I feel a little bit confused.
What did you do at the
Which
end?
did you?
I shot her.
Okay, you got the bad. They classify that as the bad ending.
Okay.
And
I
so
kept her alive.
You come back, and then the world is very different. So they're suggesting that the loop is broken. And the one thing that doesn't make sense is if you were outside of the loop, if you actually broke the loop, she shouldn't have her powers because that is confined within the anomaly of that
Mhm.
space. And that's when I started doing a little bit of research and discovered this is connected to Dishonored.
Gotcha.
Okay.
And so there could be a few things, but I think in Dishonored there's a projection of like the end times or the apocalypse. And so they're taking that projection from Dishonored, and if you have that ending, that's the world now that Colt lives in outside of the loop, where like bad things have happened and they've been in the loop like 100+ years or something like that. So it's basically the apocalypse is happening in our era, like our years right now. He breaks out like at that time.
Death of the Outsider.
Death of the
I think
Outsider.
I just came up with
That's it. That's the DLC.
Yeah.
And I think what didn't make sense is that Juliana shouldn't have her powers, if that's the case, unless they have some outside of the island justification, or maybe they're going to do DLC, and so they can justify everyone still having powers. So they're just it was kind of a lot. There's a lot there to absorb, and I was confused, but that's the decision I made.
Yeah, I
didn't know if it was good or bad or what.
I guess with my ending, I didn't need to go. I felt like I didn't need to look that up because
right.
I didn't like when you keep her alive, the loop stays.
So the
Yeah,
loop
so
is
I
intact.
actually did the third ending. So we
Oh
all
wait,
did
whoa,
different
whoa, whoa!
endings.
There's a third ending. What was that?
You jump off the side and kill yourself.
I didn't know that was an option.
Yeah.
Okay, so interesting. We all three did something
So
different.
what happened in mine, which also I didn't feel like I needed to look anything up, was you just break the loop and you're just in reality with Juliana. Like you just wake up on the beach with her and the loop's broken and you just get to continue your life with her. So I was like, oh, that's kind of, I guess I got the good ending.
Mm-hmm.
And that ending allows you to believe that you could go find Juliana's mother, or
Right.
there could be potentially a way that they can get out and go find her. So,
Interesting. We all did a different thing there.
And yeah, didn't even begin to talk about it.
Yeah.
So,
I almost stopped. I got super frustrated with a part. The mission at night where you're trying to get is it Alexis? What is his name?
Yes.
You're
I
trying to get his voice or whatever.
Mhm.
And there's like 1 million people at that party.
Yep.
Oh,
That was the
man.
hard. That was very hard.
I did not enjoy that.
Did
I
you-
almost put it down. I was super
I
frustrated.
did it a different way. I think we talked about that last
Right.
time.
Did you end up?
So it wasn't that difficult.
Did you end up finding the way to go around the front door?
I actually backed into it. Like I left that way.
Oh, yeah.
And then I died, and so then I went back and did it that way, which was much easier. But like, it's almost like maybe guys just spawn infinitely. I don't know.
I think they do because
It's
I was
crazy.
setting up turret after turret
Oh,
in that area and just mowing people down, and it was like they would never end. And I finally, the way I backed into it too was I ended up finding a staircase to the left that took you to the roof.
Mhm.
And then I found that I looked over the edge of the roof and I saw, oh, if I were to find a way over there, then I can come up around the back side. And that's how
Mhm.
I found the back side.
Yeah.
But yeah, otherwise, yeah, going through the front door is not the way to go in.
Nope.
No.
So if you go like immediately as you enter the area with the house, with the mansion or whatever, if you go to the left right there are just two guys on a perch, just talking to each other, and you can take them out pretty easily. It's just two dudes. Then there's a door up there that leads into like the mechanical area. So you just drop down there. You can assassinate a guy down there to break your fall. And then in that area is the tap room with the beer. So you can get in there, disable his favorite kind of beer, and then he just comes down to re-enable the beer, and he's by himself. So there is a really easy way around that.
Because the way I did it was
Okay.
like, so instead of going to the front door, like like you come around the alley or whatever there's like it kind of juts out. If you go around to the left side of that and you jump down, it looks like you're jumping off the edge of the cliff. There's actually a way, like cliffs down there that you can walk up and around and climb up the back side and end up in Alexis's bedroom. And then that's where I found like it was his favorite music was playing in the bathroom, and you had to make his favorite music play out in the main hall so that he would show up and start talking a bunch, and then you can collect his voice and everything through that. Because how did you end up doing that part?
I don't even remember. It crossed it off. Like, I went and snuck into the room, and then I guess I just overheard him because it was like, it crossed it off.
It crossed itself off, yeah.
Yeah, and I was like,
Okay.
And then I actually, that's how I found my way out. Accidentally. So, yeah.
Yeah, that part is tough. That is
I didn't
which-
like it.
I didn't like that
not,
part.
not a fan of that. But maybe it was just because I didn't manage my, I don't know. I didn't manage my upgrades very well, my slabs very well. So that made the end of it a little bit challenging for me because I started to mainline it and I didn't really care about targets. And you can kind of bone yourself if you don't get a nice trinket here or there. Or, you know, my loadout probably wasn't as strong as it needed to be. And that made it frustrating, I think, for me anyway.
Yeah, I think I just finally I got to know the loop so well that I knew exactly what to do.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's where because I think I did that Alexis area 5-6 times maybe. So where I knew by the time I got I got his voice and then came back the next time, I was done with that mission in 10 minutes and was just like, okay, well that was easy. Like just because I knew how it flowed. It had nothing to do with what I had trinket wise because I just knew how to get in and out. Well, I think the other thing was I was using that ether trinket or not trinket, the slab, and I would just be invisible and nobody could see me.
Yeah. I can't. Who does that come off of? You don't remember target?
That's the guy in the fun house.
The fun house, yeah.
Okay.
I don't remember his name now.
And I felt like I did that one more times than.
Oh God, I had to go into that house like 5 or 6 times.
Right.
And I'm like,
So I think I got
go back
a lot of
all the way up to the
upgrades on his
top.
slab. Yeah.
like you can kind of go around the outside of it to a point, but
Not
if
much.
you're
Not much.
yeah, if your like teleport slab isn't upgraded with
Mhm.
the perks, then you're not going to get very far with there either.
No, yeah, I think I finally got the teleport slab going to where I could get up to the space area
Yeah.
without, but even at that, like you alert one person and it's just
Yep.
over. And that's hard.
Yep. And they make you go back through a ton.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think overall it's such a unique game that I want to like give it credit for that.
Yeah.
That I want to applaud it for the things it does, so I'll bump it up. Oh, it gets the unique bump from me,
Mhm.
but there are some frustrating parts for sure, and I think like there are things they could have done about that. If they were to do a Deathloop 2, story wise, I don't think that makes sense.
No, I
But-
think you do a
if they were-
BioShock style thing.
Yeah,
Like,
if they were to do something similar, I think there's a lot of lessons they could learn from it.
Mhm.
But I also want to. Is it my favorite game I've played this year? No, but is it like one of the best games I've played this year? Probably.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
that's where I'm at too. Like, I
Sure.
think it's one of the better games of the year for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't think it's going to be my number one. Yeah, but I think it's definitely one of the better games. It's got yeah. If the story was a little more polished, and some of the, like I said, some of those issues there with the,
It's up its own butt. I've found out. Like there's a lot going on there, but it's kind of up to you what you make out of it.
yeah.
And I understand, like, if you're not going
Yeah,
to
I guess
read
I
every
didn't-
little bit of dialogue,
Right.
and if you read all that stuff, I think you would be probably. You also have to be maybe a bigger Arcane fan than I am.
I've never played an arcane game
Yeah.
until this, so.
And I put down. I had the achievement sickness. This just came to me today because I was thinking, like, why did I play Dishonored? And I did play the first Dishonored, but there was an achievement for not killing anyone in a run,
Oh man.
and there wasn't one for vice versa.
Mm.
And this was when I was like I had the real bad achievement sickness, like needed to 1,000 everything. And I remember there was like a couple of impossible achievements in there, and immediately I was like, oh, I'm not playing this.
Hmm.
And that's probably not fair, obviously, and I wouldn't do that now, but that's why I didn't play it at the
I
time.
just never gave it a shot at all, so that's my
I
own
really
fault.
like Dishonored and Dishonored 2, but not for the lore. That
Mhm.
was not what I got into it for. So.
Do they play similar to?
Yeah. Well, yes, but not. There's a lot of stuff in Deathloop that you won't like. There's not guns.
Yeah, the
in-
shooting's pretty tight
yeah.
in Deathloop. So
Is it just all
There's-
magic stuff? then?
There's some magic and there's some crossbow and stuff like that, but
Okay.
it's not flat out shooter like Deathloop can be.
yeah.
All right. Okay. Well, we'll see where this ends up into the year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Anybody else finish anything else? Wrap anything up?
No.
All right. Anything new?
No, not for me.
Not for you?
Just one thing for me.
What's up?
I played the first 2 chapters of Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh, yeah.
That's
How's that
out?
going?
Yeah, that's
Yeah, it was out last week.
Wow.
I thought about picking it up, and I was like, yeah, I'll give it a couple weeks. It'll probably be It'll probably be $10 off.
I was gonna say, what's the price? Is that full?
It's a full
MSRP?
60. Mhm.
Wow. Good.
Yeah, I think it is like as a single player game. I think it's like a 14-15 hour game if I remember right.
something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Depends on how thorough you are. I'm going for the collectibles, obviously, because
But it
I'm
doesn't
that
have
guy.
it doesn't have the multiplayer stuff like the Avengers game
Right,
did.
yeah.
There's no like cosmetic upgrade things to buy. I don't like with real money. I think it's a straightforward like, hey, you get what you get.
Yep.
So how are you liking it so far with the first
I
2
like
chapters?
it.
Yeah.
It's so I was trying to think of a way to phrase it. Maybe this is already a term that's been established, but I also came up with this.
I mean,
term.
yes, this is a Caleb trademark.
You ready for my new my new video game terminology?
Just
Okay.
tell me. I'm too excited for you to
Okay,
keep
so you
talking.
know how we have like AAA games,
Right, yeah.
And you know how like we've also coined the term AAA games.
Right, yeah.
This is a triple B game.
Oh, okay.
Good.
Does that make sense? Does
It does.
that
Which
check out?
at the same. Does that also mean double A?
Maybe. No, it's okay. So this is a good game,
Mm-hmm.
assuming that you're into the genre,
characters.
assuming you're into the characters, assuming you check 5 or 6 of these boxes,
You like
you will
action
like
games.
this game.
Do you like Marvel
But
stuff?
it's not a
Do you
game-
like cheesy comedy?
Yeah.
Do you like...
But it's not a game that's gonna like. It's not a universal recommend.
Yeah. I saw it was reviewing fairly well.
Yeah,
like
it's getting
80...
an 81.
Yeah, like low 80s, which I mean is
Yeah,
a solid... That's a solid game.
For somebody that isn't necessarily into the Marvel stuff like Jason. Another thing, like I think you would be disappointed in the combat because it's a little clunky. So I would not recommend this to you, but I would probably recommend it to Logan.
Yeah. Is this like a... Gosh. If you were described like... I always go back to like my top tier B game is like Dark Sector.
Oh man, I didn't play Dark Sector.
Dark Sector's good.
I'm trying to
Dark
think
Sector's
of
real good.
But it was like a... Not a
That's the masterclass in B game.
That's what I guess. That's what I hold. That's the triple B game that I hold
Like
everything
you see
to.
its limitations, and it's just like, man, you're 10 out of 10 with these limitations.
Yeah.
You're so good.
But then you look at this, and this is an IDOS game, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's Deus
IDOS
Ex,
Montreal,
Thief,
yeah. Deus Ex, yeah. Which everybody's all butthurt that like, oh, they made this stupid thing instead of another Deus Ex. Like, I don't know, maybe they didn't want to make another Deus Ex. Sometimes you need something.
Make another Deus Ex.
Sometimes you need a palate cleanser between games. As a studio, I could understand that.
Well, the voice actor from Deus Ex was busy.
Oh,
He
okay.
was clearly doing one or two lines, the same line over and over and over again in the camp and Back for Blood.
Oh, that's true.
It's true.
So
Yeah, we need to talk about
we'll
that.
talk about that here in a second. Yeah. So, but yeah, I'm glad you like it. I'm going to check it out for sure.
And I'm still super early, like an hour
Yeah.
and a half in,
Like I
so.
said, yeah. So I think I'll
There's too many sports.
Yeah,
I agree.
I've-
It's really making it hard.
I can't
to
play
to
games and watch TV
play
and
games
watch sports.
and TV.
I've
and
done a
the
little bit of
sports,
that,
yeah.
but it's been this past week has been I've been dealing with the construction nonsense going on here, a lot of other work things and stuff that I haven't had a lot of time to do a whole lot. But I did before we get to the one that we all three played last week. I did start the Dark Pictures anthology, House of Ashes.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, so I kind of forgot about it too until it just showed up in my game flag queue. It's okay. I'm almost done with it. It's
You're gonna need to give that to me.
what?
You're gonna need to give that to me.
Okay,
You got a
it's-
disc.
Yeah, it's a disc.
Yeah. If that's
Okay,
all right.
fine. This is how I'll wait. Need you to finish it quick. I need a new game flag game.
Okay.
Yeah.
I my goal is to probably finish it tomorrow. I really wanted to finish it tonight or today, but life got in the way. You know, Halloween. Like
Mhm.
stupid kids
This
want
is
to trick or
Halloween.
treat. You know, right?
This is Halloween. Halloween.
Yeah, Halloween. On the how long to beat on it says 5.5 hours. I feel like I'm right there.
Mm.
I don't have many people left alive either. Let's put it that way.
Good for you.
So you're not following a guide of any sort. You're
No,
just-
I am
okay.
just winging it.
getting
I am not.
murdered.
I'm not following a guide. I don't really care what happens. I'm following the
How's it
story.
look?
It looks better than any of the other games. I
Oh,
think it looks
really?
really nice.
That's interesting.
I will give it a lot of credit. I think they did a lot of work in lighting effects
Okay.
to make things look pretty
I thought
good.
those looked okay. They don't look terrible, but this was the
On
best
the new,
looking of the three.
the best looking of the three. They did something with their lighting effects engine to make it look better because there's a lot of spoilers, caverns that you're in with a lot of light that comes. Yeah, maybe a tomb of some sort. I don't know. Actually, I think it starts in a tomb, so yeah, like that's not really unheard of. But yeah, I think it looks really good considering. And I will say so just so you know too, I'm saying it looks really good, and I've been playing on my Series X. I have not been playing on my Series X.
Oh, that's
I've been playing on
interesting.
my One X
On your One X even.
and a little bit on my One S even.
Hmm.
Because the One X is packed up right now with all
Sure.
the construction going on, and I
Mhm.
never unpacked it from last week's adventure of we all got together and played Back for Blood.
We sure did.
Before you move on, I just want to. You remember when Until Dawn came out, and then they announced the Dark Pictures anthology, and we were all like, "We're gonna get an Until Dawn every year." Oh, we were so naive back then.
I every time Until Dawn was so good. And this has all been downhill ever since. They did get one name, for lack of a better term, and I'm going to say the name, and you're going to go who? Ashley Tisdale.
That sounds familiar.
Yeah, we would know that person's face if we saw it, I bet.
Potentially,
actor's
she
face.
is one of. She was the second tier girl in High School Musical.
Yeah.
So there was
Yeah,
there
I
was the
don't
main
know
character
this is-
girl.
Oh,
and
the
then
blonde?
The blonde. She's
yeah,
the blonde.
I know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
So that's who it is. But she looks. I will say that I looked at all the other like the actors who played those characters. She got screwed in the face design. Like she doesn't look good at all compared to the other characters, which I found really interesting. I was like, why is she so super glossy compared to everybody else? And like I feel like her face is like overly rounded. Like she's like a perfect oval, and everybody else has like structure to their face.
Okay.
It's like we made her look. Her face looks like an egg, and she's like, looks like we took a coat of like gloss paint and threw it on top of her face. Everybody else looks fine. I just thought it was odd.
I need to see this through. I played the other two.
That's kind of my thought. I literally played this for an hour and thought I was going to turn it off.
Yeah.
It was that bad. The first hour was.
Really?
It's real bad. That first hour.
Gosh. Okay.
Like it sucks.
Oh no.
You still
I'm
looking
trying
up
to
Ashley
figure out
Tisdale?
where I know her from, but I don't.
Are you thinking Ashley Simpson?
No, I don't know what I'm thinking.
Okay. Well, anywho, let's talk a little Back for Blood, or Left for Dead, or Left for Dead 2. I don't know. It's the same game.
So, okay, the thing I do appreciate
Mhm.
about Back for Blood is that it's not the same exact thing over and over again.
There were only like 4 maps in Left for Dead.
Yeah, and you start in a safe house, you mow through zombies until you get to the next safe house, and then you do that again and that again and that again. And at least in this game, you're going out, you're rescuing 4 survivors, then you're going back to the same safe house, or you're blowing up a ship to move on, or like you know what I mean.
Yeah.
It's not like the same exact thing every time.
There's more game to this than there is
Yeah.
Left for Dead. That's for sure.
I'd agree with that.
Mhm. And I enjoy my time with it for sure.
Yeah.
Like I think we'll see it through at some point, but I think we all probably recognize like we don't have to finish this before the end of the year.
No,
I think that's the other thing. Like did we finish all of Act 1?
no,
We're close. Act 1's long.
yeah.
I'd like to see an entire act of that game. Maybe
At
a little
least,
bit of
yeah.
the second part to get an impression of like, does Act 2 take us to a completely different arena? And like what you said, as long as we're in an independent environment, and is there even more to see that we haven't seen, or do we regurgitate some of the stuff from Act 1? I'm really curious about that, because if so, I think, hey, good on you.
Yeah.
Good job. That's a lot of game there.
We also we continued, like, we went on each chapter and we didn't go back to the base and reconfigure and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm wondering if we would have a better time if we got more into that kind of a loop of, go
That's
try to get better guns, get better
true.
cards, build
Well,
your
I
deck
think there also
better.
is some, if I remember right, there's something with that. Like every time you start, you actually don't start with, like, if you started on like Act 1-5 or whatever, like you would only start with the 5 cards you have.
You
do
get the cards. You don't remember, but you just, because we did that once, and you
Yeah.
just got to pick like 5 cards in a row to start.
Yeah.
So
But
that makes up for the fact that you didn't
Oh.
play those.
okay. Yeah, I guess because we just got to we just kept stacking cards.
Yeah.
So I guess that's the thing. Like if you start on chapter 2-6 though, do you only pick 5 cards? Because if you would have started on like chapter 1-1 and got all the way up to that point, you would have the 5 cards
I think
plus
it's-
the 10 that you had
I think
collected
it's
on
the
the way.
same no matter where you start from. Like you
Okay.
either get a card every round or you just get the 5 to start, and then you know what I mean. Like if you started on the 5th one, then you just get all 5 to start instead of getting them one at a time.
The next time we play, I think we should all talk about what we're doing in base camp
Yeah.
to make sure we all have a good understanding of
Like
how that impacts our loadout.
Yeah, like this is what I'm grabbing from a loadout. Like somebody grabbed the all right, I'm gonna be the melee guy and run out in
Right.
front, and I'm gonna be the guy who just because you can gain HP or whatever by
Not
doing
just that, but how like cards and
Weapons.
loadout and weapons, and there's things there that I don't think
Right.
we really understand.
We just were
and that
playing.
might be why we had a little bit of a hard time.
And
So-
that actually might be a counterpoint to the Left 4 Dead thing, because Left 4 Dead was so simple. It was kind of, you just pick it up and you immediately know what you're doing. Like you pick up the one gun. Like all these guns are roughly the same. Pick up the one that you prefer and go. And in this game, it's like, okay, which cards do I want? Which gun do I want? So it's a double-edged sword, right? Like it can be good in that way, but also like you lose the simplicity.
I don't think any of us thought we were going to have to engage on that level.
Exactly.
No, because
But I think we have to.
Yeah.
we might need to.
The game is asking that of the player.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure if that's a good thing or a bad thing.
But I have heard that like
I'm not
even Recruit, everybody said like Recruit's still hard. Like we're not playing on, like you're not truly playing on easy.
We had to start putting on the gamer pants there.
Yeah.
I did not anticipate having to do that.
No.
Well, and we also got a little bit of the short end of the stick with our teammates at times.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so-
we're probably better off with just the three of us.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or we find a
Just
fourth
the
that
three of us.
actually is okay.
Right.
That's the
Mm.
like. I think it's just a matter of finding a fourth whose time matches up with us or something. Yeah, we can figure it out. But
Yeah. The AI wasn't bad. They would heal you and
they would heal you, but that seemed like it was mostly it. Like, yeah, I rarely saw them do a lot of damage.
yeah.
And it never told you how much damage they did either. It would always just say, "Oh yeah, the AI
Zero.
killed nobody." It's like, no, I watched them kill a few people. They didn't just kill nobody.
Yeah.
But it's just not counting as a stat for them. Which I would like to see that, like in the future. Like, hey, open that up. Like, I want to see like how many people they really did kill. I would like. I feel like the stat thing would pop up at the end, but like, I want to see some more robust stats.
I don't.
You don't?
Opposite. I don't want to see that because I think what they did a really smart thing there, I think.
Mhm.
When you don't see everybody's stats, you don't feel bad about yourself.
Mm.
They gave you a thing that you did well, and they didn't compare you to anybody else. I always hate that in cooperative games when they show everybody's stats because then I'm like, "Ugh, I'm pulling down the team here. Look at how many they killed. Look at how many they killed. I only did that. I feel bad about myself after I do that."
Yeah, but then it's like but I guess if they showed like, okay, number of times heal, like, you know, if you healed somebody or did other things, like, I don't know, there's always things that people can
As
do, I
a
guess.
gamer that's not very good at video games, I appreciate that.
I think we're all good at different types of games, maybe, is probably my thought. Is like, you know.
I don't know, man. You're the only one here who finished the Souls games, and that's like,
Yeah. That puts you on another tier for me.
I don't
like,
think you can say you're bad at games if you've
Nope.
finished any of those, for the record. Just
yeah,
saying.
exactly. It just may
Because
not
I've
be
tried those and failed miserably. So
same. Sekiro, nope. Tried that, couldn't do it.
That might be the hardest game I've ever finished.
I really
game is
wanted to.
ridiculous.
I really wanted to.
Tried.
So hard.
Couldn't do it.
So hard.
So yeah, so you have another tier of that. I'm just a stats nerd.
Yeah.
So that's my thing is I just like numbers.
That's what I think. I think that's a common theme in gaming that
Mm.
I'm really starting to like. Is that developers are getting good at disguising making you feel good about yourself,
Yeah.
especially in multiplayer.
Well, yeah, and especially if you're gonna play with randoms
Yeah.
that you don't know, and some doucher kid's gonna be like, "Hey, you're pulling your weight,
Yep.
dickhead! Get out of here!"
Or like the multiplayer games where if you go on a 3-game losing streak, they put you up against bots.
Mm.
Like just small stuff like that, I think is kind of cool because
Mm.
then you're not always like, oh man, I suck. I hate this.
Mm.
I hate myself for playing the. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Been there.
Yeah.
It's usually not multiplayer games for me, sadly. It's the harder games like the Souls games and stuff that's just they just crush my soul, and I'm like, okay, I'm done. All right. Anything else for games?
Not me.
All right, me either. So let's roll into TV. So we've been watching a lot of sports, I think, is what's been.
So much sports.
It's been start of basketball, baseball playoffs. I don't know. Is the UEFA Champions League doing anything exciting these days? I'm not
don't
watching
know.
it, but I just
Football.
a lot of football, mid-season of NFL. So
WNBA finished.
WNBA finals finished up a couple weeks ago. So yeah, it's just been a lot of stuff.
And
Yeah,
there's
the,
so much of it.
Dota International was a couple weeks ago, and I watched a lot of Dota.
Oh
Did
really?
you?
So much Dota.
I heard that was kind of weird this year with how it all went down. Like it was supposed to be live and in person, then they canceled it last minute, and then a couple
Yeah.
teams got COVID
Then
in the middle of it.
Yep, and they
That's a
they
bummer.
rescheduled it twice
Oh,
and finally
jeez.
had it. Like it was kind of a miracle that it even happened. But yeah, it was. So the cool thing about it was there's a Chinese team that's been absolutely completely dominant throughout this entire season. They've been just massacring everybody, and they made it to the finals. Obviously, they came to the upper bracket, the winners bracket. They got there. The losers bracket was this team that's never like done anything before. They're all super young. They came up. They were playing just whatever they wanted to do. They were just playing with house money, and they got all the way through the losers bracket. So that was the final matchup. There's a particular combination of heroes that was completely broken in the entire tournament. It was if the team picked Tiny, who's this big rock golem guy, and Lycan, who is he can turn into a werewolf. That combo won like literally every time. They would roll over people because there's certain stats that are with those two together, they're just completely broken. And they were tied 2-2 going into the best of 5 series, so last game, and this young upstart team was like, let it through. Let them do Tiny Lycan. Let's see if we can defend it. And they did, and they won. It was really cool.
Because I mean, even second place wins a good amount of cash for that. So they were, like I said, they were probably just like, well, whatever. We were just glad we made it this far. Interesting. I at least know who you're talking about because I played Underworlds.
Yeah.
Or Underlords. Yeah. So it's like,
Yeah,
oh yeah, I know Tiny and Lycan. Yeah.
Yeah. The other cool thing about that is, so there are 121 heroes, I think, in Dota.
Yeah.
Jeez.
100 and I think it was 104, 105 were played.
Oh, that's cool.
Right. So like that game is
Oh, man.
extremely balanced. That's crazy.
There's probably like a third of the MK roster is played.
Right.
Yeah, that's what I was just gonna think. Yeah, like
that's
I
the
know
only
fighting
comparison I
tournaments,
have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
in
because
League of Legends, it's like at any given time, it's like 20 of them are playable.
Yeah, that's interesting.
And this is like over 100, which is crazy.
Yeah, that is crazy. That's cool. I didn't know that the field was so balanced. That's neat.
But anyway,
Yeah.
so I guess that was something that I have been watching.
I think
there
What
you
else
go.
have we
I
been
think
watching?
that I think we all have finished Squid Game.
Yeah.
Yes, we all have. So yeah.
I just finished it
Okay, you just finished it.
last week. Yeah.
Yeah. What'd you think of
That's
Squid Game?
it's a cultural thing, that Squid Game.
Mhm.
It's fine. I mean,
right.
it's-
It's perfectly fine.
it's
I was
fun.
entertained.
I
Right.
get that it's trying. I get, yes, classes issues. Gotcha. Understood.
Capitalism. Got it. Okay.
Yes. I think the last episode is maybe like the weakest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
really
kind of
is.
like a after you know
After
those
the Marvel episode, everything like
Yeah.
yeah, there's just those they go into the next game, and then that's where that show you just can't take your eyes off of them,
no.
because they're going into the next game, and that's the stuff that's really crazy good and super entertaining. And then the rest of it, like the old man reveal and all that, it's just like,
Yeah.
oh my god, is this show over?
I know, right?
And like the end, I guess, I don't know. I guess the end maybe is supposed to be more impactful, but I'm like, hey man, you do you. I just want this to be over.
Did you guys see that there's going to be a season 2?
Is it going to be him?
You can't.
I
There's
hope he
nothing
goes
yet.
in. I hope they go in with him.
I don't
Why
know.
not?
I mean, at the same time, like if it hadn't have blown up how it did, I mean, this thing blew up.
Yeah.
Blew up hard. You have to do a season 2. Now, whether it's with any of the same people or not, I don't know. But I mean, it's yeah. I don't know how you don't.
Right.
Like, there's no reason if you're printing money at that point.
We saw it earlier this year with White Lotus.
Mhm.
That show did so well that they're like, just do a season 2. I don't know how, but just do it anyway.
That's so, I mean, Netflix, you get it, but HBO so rarely cares about that.
Yeah.
They really don't. Like, usually HBO's like, I don't know.
Right, but I think they treated it as like, yeah, well, like you can do a White Lotus 2 without any of the same characters.
Maybe
and I think that's
they'll
what
do
they're
that
doing.
with
Same thing with
Squid
Squid
Game.
Yeah, they could very easily just have like one character because obviously not many of the others are around anymore.
Or it could be a prequel.
Sure.
one of the other Squid Games.
Sure.
The octopus.
Oh man, okay,
Adventure.
okay, I'm on to something here.
Okay.
What if it's a prequel, but they don't tell you it's a prequel? So the whole time you're trying to figure out what the connection is, and then at the very end, it's like that was just one of the rounds of Squid Game.
Yeah, sure. I would. Yeah.
That's the twist at the end. Was that
Or it's
that
like
was a
the
prequel.
guy, like the old, like they age the guy up like 20 years and it's the old man.
Yeah.
Like,
Or you see you see them playing in the subway. You see them playing the game like at the end, the way that they ended the first season, and then and then you realize it's before even season
Yeah.
one.
because at this point you're just assuming.
Netflix, I am available for hire.
Right. I mean, at this point, you're
You're
that there's
hired.
another Squid Game. Like, I mean, the guy was there. He was on the subway thing. He was doing his thing. There's gonna be another Squid Game. Like,
Yeah.
Like, exactly. So,
I'm glad I watched that just so I could see what
Yeah.
the hell everybody's talking about. But it's just fine television. It's A-okay.
yeah,
It's fun. It's entertaining.
yeah, popcorn show.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, even if all those tropes they're trying, I get it. It's fine. You
Yep.
do your thing. That's okay.
Mm-hmm.
Whether or not that lands, that show is still really good in some spots. So that's probably the
Oh
important.
yeah,
that's the important thing.
that show has moments where it's really good.
Yep.
And then it's got but then it falls on its face at the end. So, shows that are really good. The Crown. I'm
I
almost
agree.
done. I'm almost caught up.
Are you really?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
when I like nights that like, oh yeah, like I could play some video games. I'll just watch another episode of The Crown. Like,
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, so
so
you're more engaged.
Oh yeah. I mean, yeah. We're
nice.
at this. I mean, I'm to the point. I don't remember what episode it is. Like, Charles and Diana just went to Australia.
Dude.
The Diana stuff is really
Okay.
good.
I'm glad that I think it's been excellent. Obviously it's won awards throughout, but like you're like season 4 it's about as good as TV can get.
Yeah,
It's incredible.
it's solid. There's
That actress
who
and
plays Diana.
yeah,
she
she's
is very good.
if that is, I don't know if like she did character study or what, but if that is actually how Lady Di acted, like if that's like if you literally couldn't read her all of the time the way that you can't read that actress, it's maddening because you have no idea what she's thinking ever, and it's incredible because she's acting in that way, and like, oh man, I don't know, her performance is brilliant.
And just the complete and utter change of like Elizabeth and Philip and everything has just been like this season is just whoa. Like
yeah,
Elizabeth is now basically the villain.
yeah,
Philip is just like, I'm here, I don't give a fuck.
he's over it.
He's so over
He's
all
done.
everything.
Yeah.
Like there was the one episode where he walks in and he's like, they were talking about like Elizabeth having favorites or something, and he was just goes, oh, well, I know who your favorite is. and she's like, well, who is it? And he's just like, yeah, and he just gets up and walks out of the room.
Yep. He's over. He's too old. Like he's not too old, but he's
realized he's just like, I'm not doing anything.
and
These days.
the contradiction between like him wanting attention in the first 2 seasons and
Mhm.
wanting to have more responsibility, and to
And
the
this
4th
guy?
season he's just worn down.
He's checked out.
Yep.
He's just laughing at everybody now. He's like, Charles has got to go do this stupid shit. That sucks. Like,
I'm glad. Yeah. There's a particular boating accident. Is that the 4th season? Maybe it's yet to happen.
boating.
Yeah, it's maybe. Did you see the natural disaster in season 3?
Oh yeah,
That's my favorite.
yeah.
Maybe
yeah.
we talked about that last
I think I'd
time.
seen it last time. Yeah,
Okay.
So I'm trying to figure out what exact episode I'm on. So I was going to try to figure out what that.
Well, I'm
was.
glad you're enjoying that. Are you still actively watching that? You watch it?
I have not watched it in a long time, but I want to. There's just so many things.
I understand. No,
Yeah,
I
I
understand.
just I have 4 episodes left and I'm caught up.
Oh man.
So yeah, Terra Nullius was the one I just watched, and that was where they went to Australia. And so yeah, there's just the Hereditary Principle, 48-1, Avalanche, and War, the last 4 episodes until I'm caught up. So yeah, that.
Speaking of the best TV shows on television,
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Still
Curb Your
watch-
Enthusiasm. No.
No,
was
no,
gonna
right
say.
there with you. Like that came back, and it's freaking great already.
How
First
many
episode.
episodes? Just
one.
one so far.
Yeah.
No, so here, let me just explain the plot to you real quick of the first
I know,
episode because
God.
it's just getting so ridiculous. So there's a guy that broke into Larry David's house, and in the process of escaping, trips and falls into his pool and drowns and dies. He finds out there's a city ordinance that requires you to have a fence around your pool. So he might be liable for this man dying, even though he broke into his house. The family of this guy that broke into his house finds out about it, and they blackmail Larry into hiring their daughter into performing in the upcoming pilot that he's doing.
So keep in mind too. Wait, the pilot that he's doing is young Larry.
yeah,
So
she's this
and
like
it's on-
Mexican.
yeah, and this is supposed to be his like Jewish sister.
It's called Young Larry.
Yeah.
That's amazing that it's called Young
Yeah,
Larry.
and so this like character that like he's supposed to have in there is like this younger woman is she's like a Jewish cousin or
Yep.
something, and this like Mexican restaurant owner is like, you have to like put my daughter in this. She's perfect for this role because he read it in Variety that like this is the thing, and so he's like, she has to play this role, and he's like, that's my Jewish cousin. You clearly have like a Latino daughter here.
This all leads up to my favorite part of the episode, which is in the casting. There's phenomenal actress after phenomenal
Yeah.
actress coming in, and he's like, no, I don't like him. Everybody else is like, oh, she was great. No, don't like him. This girl comes in and absolutely is atrocious, and he's like, that's the one.
And that's how they end the show. He's like, that's the one. And then it just dun, 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 dun.
It's just like, I understand if you can't actively watch that show because it's so
Uncomfortable.
There's so many
times.
uncomfortable moments.
Mhm.
But like the situations they come up with, I also think that they did a really smart move just putting this past COVID. It's set after everything,
Yeah.
which means probably in the future even is when this
At
is
this
set.
point, yeah. Like they're treating it like
They're
it's
treating it like COVID's a thing of the past, which
Yeah,
I
they're-
think is actually pretty smart because
Mhm.
I'm tired of watching COVID stuff on TV.
Yeah. There are a few shows where it's like, oh, okay, we're still talking about this. Like, yeah. Okay. I come to my TV shows to escape the hell that is
Yeah.
outside. Like, please don't remind me.
Yeah, I am really looking forward. I'll probably watch episode 2 when I get home tonight because
Yeah. Which another
Yes.
banger HBO show is
Yeah.
back in Succession.
that's what I was actually gonna say. Speaking of best shows on TV,
I know, right?
it's the best show on TV.
That show is it was like, hey, remember that Succession formula that works really well? What if we just cranked it up one little small notch here? And yeah, that first episode, even the second one too. But I mean, that first episode was
Have you guys watched the second episode?
yes.
Okay.
Mhm.
The moment that I realized like how good this show is when I am watching the show and I'm thinking his kids freaked out from a donut delivery. They
Yeah.
literally changed all of their minds based on a donut delivery, and they didn't explain why. There was no exposition telling you why that
Nope.
happened or what, but they had laid out all of the steps in front of you so that you knew in that pivotal moment that they were all going to do their own thing because of one delivery of a box of donuts. And that's when I realized, holy crap, this show is incredible. I don't think I've ever watched anything like that where they don't explain to you what's happening, they show you what's happening, and it's still so impactful.
Mm-hmm. God, that
I could talk about that scene for an hour.
just all four of them in that room
Yeah.
just chew. They were just like fighting each other for how much scenery they could chew. Like it.
Yeah.
Even Alan Ruck gets into the act.
Yeah, and he's supposed to sit there and basically just take it because that's his job as the like shitty older brother that doesn't want anything to do with the company.
I love, man, Kendall's reaction to that is fire, because he knows his father, he knows strategy, and he knows that he's lost him, and he's begging
Yep.
Connor to put the donut down because he knows what's happening.
And he's realizing in that moment that his dad is not as senile as he thinks he is.
Right.
He realizes, oh shit, he's still got it. He realizes he might actually be in trouble
And
here.
he lashes out because people react to fear a different way. And his response is the first time in that episode he's scared
Yep.
is when he realizes he's losing that, and he reacts like a child. And he's got it together that whole episode until then. Oh man, everything about that show. Everything about that show. The scene where Jerry calls the White House.
Yeah.
That's like, I could talk about that scene for 30 minutes. They're like, how many laws do they break in that moment?
But they were all
Both
trying to
of
be
them,
so cagey.
and they're trying not to be, and obviously Logan is listening. Like that whole thing is, well, we don't want to lose him. Well, no, he's the president. But you could make this go away. You could fire him. Haha. It's so good.
Yeah, it's
like
just-
it's
yeah.
so
They're
good.
so calculating in their responses.
Right.
And
So
it
good.
It makes you, like, the thing that got me with that scene was it made me, like, start to grind the gears and think about, how do you get into that situation where you're good at making that phone call? You know what I mean? Like, how, because she handled that as well as she possibly could have. So how do you, in the course of your career, work your way up to that level where you have to call the White House and do that? You know what I mean? That's just crazy to think about for me.
I love how Roman recommends Jerry,
Yeah.
and
Oh,
Logan
it's-
listens to him,
Mm-hmm.
which is
Does he?
crazy. I mean, yeah.
I don't think he does.
I mean, he doesn't.
You don't
I think
so?
I think he did it despite that, because I think
Oh,
I think
really?
his takeaway from that phone call was that Roman's out. Like, if he's gonna be a pussy about this, he's out. So he was disqualified, and then the decision was down between the two women, and he had to make that.
Well, but I guess
Okay.
I'm taking this all as is Roman's playing this as a long con. That if Jerry gets in,
yeah.
then he'll wait till his dad dies, and then Jerry will bring him up once Logan's dead.
That's how I read.
That's
that.
how I'm reading it
But-
too. And so I think Roman's got him on the long con.
Right, but I don't think that's why Logan picked
Jerry.
Yeah.
Well, he's also run out of options. Really.
Well, I think he knows also too that the family's toxic, and you can't touch him right now. Like I think
that makes sense.
So I think knowing that, yeah, he's like, I can put Jerry in this main role. I'll put Shiv in as president just to keep which is basically a nothing role.
Yep.
And she
Who
knows
gives
it.
Kendall that advice? Oh, it's Stewie. When they meet in the car.
Yeah. They get in the
Oh.
car with Stewie.
Isn't
Yeah.
that maybe it's not Stewie?
Thought it was.
Is it when he says if you kill Logan, you all go down, none of you get the seat?
Right.
That's the advice he gives him, right?
Mhm.
I think that's Stewie.
I don't remember.
Yeah,
He
Stewie.
tells
I
Kendall
think he
like,
said
if you go after Logan and you pull this off, then none of you,
none of the kids are going to
family
get the,
will get
are going to
the
but yeah.
CIO position.
Because yeah, I think that was what he was talking about. He's like, because Stewie's the main player on the
CEO.
board, right?
Yeah,
He's
Stewie is.
He's like the controlling body of the board, or the main controlling shareholder, right?
him and the older gentleman who was not in the scene,
Yeah.
whose daughter was,
He was
on
the phone, right?
Yeah, from the
No.
bear hug, the other side of the bear hug.
I
Yeah.
can't remember his name.
But they are the controlling stake
Yeah.
of the company.
Yeah,
right?
they're like those two will
majority share.
Well, yeah, they take a huge chunk of the board.
Yeah, it's incredible the depth they get out of the conversations and the characters.
How about Tom and Greg on opposite factions still fire every
Yeah.
time
They-
they're
oh,
in
yeah.
a scene together?
They can't help themselves.
But it's
Mhm.
it's always incredible. Well, and Greg is that character, like, you're supposed to think he's an idiot and he's outmatched, but then all of a sudden he realizes he is on the phone with Tom and he needs to save his ass in this moment, and he says, Tom, I will exchange information with you. But still he's speaking like Greg speaks. I'm super nervous when I'm talking to you, and he says stupid stuff when he's talking, but also that delivery is done when he says something smart or
He's-
makes the right move.
He's trying to he's really trying to be one of the family. Like, he sees how everybody else is handling the situation, and he's trying to emulate them, but he doesn't quite have it yet. So he like he's trying to navigate through all of this, and he doesn't know where to be. And then him getting bailed out by his grandpa at the end is just, that's so good. That's
I didn't put it together, but the donuts. It took me like, I was actually just thinking about this randomly. The donuts. How does Logan learn that?
we don't know yet.
Greg. No. Tom told him. Did you know Siobhan was here?
Oh, okay. But I don't know how he knew.
Oh.
Did he know that Roman was there and that
That I think that the bet is.
did he just
is
get
that-
lucky?
Yeah, I think the Logan rolls the dice, sends over the donuts because he knows Shiv is there.
Oh, okay.
And that is the information that Greg exchanges.
Yeah.
Like, so they're potentially on the phone in coded language saying, like, I'm going to share this with you. I'll share this with you, and we'll both still survive this, because if we turn on each other, we're done.
Yeah.
And they won't do that
no.
because there's too much for them individually.
Too many Greg
to
shells.
lose. Yeah. Too many around. Oh, it's so. Oh man, and
Gotta
Tom
make
still.
that tomlet.
Tom still treats it. He's gonna shove a million spiders up your dicky.
So just randomly, like just Succession / Saturday Night Live. Jason Sudeikis was hosting last week, or yeah, it would have been last week. You remember the skit that he did where he was like we did like just a bunch of weird dances in like a red jumpsuit. It was like what's up
remember
with that?
Nope.
Like it was Kenan Thompson hosted this really weird like game show type thing, or it was like just a talk show thing, and it was always like two guests plus Lindsey Buckingham, and Bill Hader was always Lindsey Buckingham, and they would never get to him. They'd always be like, "Oh, we never got to you, Lindsey Buckingham." Like, oh, we'll get to you next time. All right, see you next week. And like so, and Bill Hader just be sitting there with sunglasses and a cigarette and a leather coat, and would never say a word like the whole time, just because they'd be like, we'll get to you next time. So they introduced like two. They were actually like two celebrities. I can't remember who it was. Like the first one was somebody actually popular who was on the show. The other one was Emily Ratajkowski. I always forget how to say her name, but she was in a few random movies, model. And then they were like, oh, look at that, Lindsey Buckingham's got a Cousin Greg costume on. And it was Nicholas Braun, the actual actor that plays Cousin Greg, and he just kept referring to him as Lindsey's great Cousin Greg costume. And he'd be like, "I'm Nicholas Braun. I'm actually playing Cousin Greg on
that's
Succession."
awesome.
He's like, "Oh, Lindsey, you ain't gonna get me this time." I don't know why I just found that so funny, but it was just random as hell. So yeah, that season's going to continue to
We're
be.
gonna keep talking about that every time we talk, I feel like.
Yeah, as usual. So Succession's just
Is
fantastic.
this the first season that we're all watching at the same time?
I think so. Because
I remember the first season, Logan and I had never even heard of the show, and
No.
Jason's like, "This is the best show on TV." I'm like,
And we were like,
okay.
"No, it isn't. This is some stupid business show. Like, we're gonna watch a bunch of people talk about business politics all day. This looks dumb." And no, it's fan-damn-tastic.
Number 6 on our list that year.
I'm sorry.
I'm wondering.
I think we did. Did we make
Yeah.
season 2 number 1?
No,
No, because
that
didn't
was
come
Stranger
out this-
Things year, wasn't it?
or was that Barry?
It might have been a Barry year.
And then look, Succession's good, but I don't think it's Atlanta.
Yeah. Oh man.
It might
Atlanta
have-
was probably pretty high on
We'll
our
see.
list.
It might
Yeah,
have
I have to
been
go back and
Barry in
look.
Atlanta that year that we went back and forth on, because that would have been 19, right? Because it wasn't last year.
wasn't
Last year
20.
was Ted Lasso.
Yeah.
It had to have been 19.
Yeah,
then.
season 2 was probably the
I-
Atlanta Barry year.
At least so far, season 3 is better than season 2 of Succession.
We're going into the thing I love about Succession right now is it's in that beautiful spot where season 3 and 4 will be the strongest seasons of the
Yeah.
show, because we all know who the players are,
Mhm.
and the stakes are really high. The way that it just reminds me of the way of like a Vince Gilligan show rises in 3 and 4. The Americans 3 and 4, like they're even Dexter.
Yeah, Dexter 3 and 4 were fantastic.
Like when the really the best shows seem to hit their stride critically and with fans like in the middle or like 75% to the end of their run.
Yep.
And we are in that time with Succession, and that's why you can't take your eyes off of it when you watch
Everything's
it.
so fast paced now. There's no more boring stretches.
No.
There's no
defi-
time to be.
There
Yeah.
hasn't been a single boring thing happen yet.
And
It's so
it's
good.
just like you feel like you are Kendall for an hour, because it's like go to this meeting, then go to that meeting, then go to this meeting, and then go back. You feel like as a viewer, you feel like you're also juggling 6 things at the same time.
Mm.
It's stressful.
Yeah.
For sure. It's
Yeah.
good. It's really good.
Show, yeah.
That was it for me. I don't think I watched anything else
I don't think I have
besides
any,
sports.
Yeah, I don't think I have anything else new other than those.
I finished You season 3.
Yeah, how was that?
Campy as hell.
Campy as hell.
Yeah,
That was
okay.
kind of what I was.
That's what you need.
I
out of
almost
that
just
show.
said, "What was you? Campy as hell?" And
Yeah.
you just said it. Yeah.
If you like murder, there's a lot of murder.
I do like murder.
Enjoy good murder. Sure, why not?
It's not well justified in a lot of cases.
I enjoy. I mean, I enjoy an unjustified murder too. That's always.
Yeah.
I mean, if it was Raylan, it was justified.
I
but-
mean, this
Just
dude is
bad.
he is the biggest creep of all time and keeps getting away with shit, and it's
sure.
yeah. It is what it is. If you've seen a trailer for you know what the entire
have.
show is.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
That's it. And then I watched the first episode of Swagger, which is on Apple TV. It's, I guess, loosely based on Kevin Durant's story. It's okay. It's also a little bit maybe campy is the word for that too. Actually, it's got like the hard-nosed coach that's gonna drive him to success, and here he is failing and breaking down, but the coach is gonna bring him back around. You know, it's that kind of thing. It's a sports story. I don't think it's gonna be anything unique.
What was it called?
Swagger.
Is
You said.
this,
Go ahead then.
was this the thing that was inspired by Kevin Durant?
Yeah.
That's what you just said.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Pay attention.
I was looking up another TV show and I thought I was listening close enough, but I was not.
You said Apple TV,
Yeah.
and a long time ago you recommended the Snoopy Show.
Yeah.
God, that show's great.
Right.
It's so good. It's so good. Like I
It's
was watching
like-
it with my kids today. We watched the Halloween episodes, and then we couldn't help but watch then the Christmas episodes, and then we watched the early spring shows. It goes through a year, and I was like, this is so solid. It's crazy, and it's so funny.
Legitimately funny. Right?
Oh yeah,
Like,
sincerely funny.
Not just like in the way that a cartoon is funny, but like
No, like
legitimate,
like chuckle at the TV,
like
funny.
smart funny.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. And it's weird because like my 5-year-old and I think a smart joke is funny at the same time, but it's not pandering to her or
Right.
me.
Yeah.
Like it's just
A
legitimately
joke can be a
funny.
joke, yeah.
Yeah. It's good. But that was the only other new thing I would have forgot, but I watched a little bit of that. That's it for me.
Yeah, me too. All right. Well, this is, I think we'll wrap up for the week. We've got the Jimmy John's Beef and Blue coming to you whenever we come back. Because I don't know, we just always decide when the hell we want to come back. There's video games that happen, TV shows that happen. But you just do whatever it is you got to do the rest of your day, and we'll see you next time.